Hello, it's time to rest, to let the noise of the day slowly fade away and step into a quieter world. Tonight, I'll take you on a gentle journey, a peaceful trip aboard a night train, traveling toward a small, quiet town called Asterwind, a place that exists somewhere between dreams and memories. So just lie back and let your mind follow the sound of the story as we begin. It begins late at night. A soft fog rolls over an empty countryside railway station where an old iron clock ticks slowly above platform number 3. You arrive alone, carrying a small leather suitcase. The air is cool, crisp, and faintly smells of pine trees and distant rain. The lamps along the platform glow with warm amber light, their halos shimmering through the mist. A faint hum fills the air. Not quite silence, not quite sound, just the gentle quiet of a world half asleep. Far down the tracks, you hear the low, comforting rumble of an approaching train. Not fast, not loud, just steady, predictable, calm. The night train too as the wind. As it comes closer, you notice the details. Deep blue carriages, polished brass handles, and windows softly lit from inside, like lanterns drifting through the darkness. The train slows and sighs gently as it stops before you. A warm breath of air escapes from beneath it, wrapping around your legs like a soft blanket. A single door opens with a muted click. There is no conductor, no other passengers in sight, just a quiet invitation to step inside. You climb the small metal steps and enter the corridor. Inside, everything feels safe. The lighting is soft, honey-colored. The carpet is a deep burgundy, like crushed velvet under your feet. The carriage rocks ever so slightly, as if the train is already dreaming. You walk down the hallway until you find your cabin. Number 9, you turn the brass handle. The cabin is small, but warm and comforting. A single bed with crisp white sheets. A wooden desk with an old-style lamp glowing in soft golden light. A window overlooking the mist-filled countryside. You set your suitcase down and sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress is surprisingly soft, and the blankets smell faintly of lavender. Outside, the train begins to move, slowly at first, with a gentle sway, like the rhythm of breathing. You feel it through the floorboard, through the mattress, through the air itself. The steady clattering of wheels blends into a soothing lullaby. Clack, clack, clack. The night unfolds beyond the window. Dark silhouettes of distant hills, faint shapes of forests, and the occasional flicker of a lonely farmhouse light. You lie down on the bed and pull the blanket over yourself. The train rocks you gently, back and forth, back and forth. The window frame vibrates softly with each turn of the tracks. Shapes pass by outside, rolling fields, silver rivers, reflecting moonlight, clusters of trees whispering quietly in the wind. You let your thoughts drift. The world outside becomes abstract, like watercolor strokes dissolving on wet paper. Inside the cabin, the lamp dims itself automatically, not going dark, just lowering to the perfect level for falling asleep. You can hear the faint rattle of small objects in the desk drawer, in the soft metallic tap of the radiator warming the room. Everything feels slow, everything feels safe. You trace your fingers along the wooden frame of the bed, the grain smooth and warm to the touch. You listen to the soft breaths of the train, the quiet vibrations, the distant echoes whenever it crosses a bridge. A small notebook lies on the desk. When you open it, you see delicate handwriting. To all travelers of the night train, may your dreams bring you gently to the town where the morning light is always kind. You close the notebook and smile. Outside, the landscape becomes softer still, as if the train is entering a world where night never hurries. The air humps, the wheels sink, your eyelids grow heavy. The gentle sway of the train feels like floating on a quiet sea, and slowly, very slowly, you drift deeper into rest. The carriage rocked gently as the train drifted deeper into the quiet night. Outside the windows, the world dissolved into soft motion shadows of distant hills, clusters of dim village lights, and stretches of empty land coated in a subtle, bluish silence. You settle deeper into your seat, feeling the warmth spreading slowly through the cabin. The gentle hum of the rails feels almost like breathing slow, reassuring, rhythmic. I watch you from the opposite seat, my voice quiet and warm. Try to notice how the world slows down out here, I whisper. Even time seems to soften. We rise and walk together through the corridor, our footsteps muffled against the carpet. The lights are dim, pools of gold along the floor guiding our way. The observation car is almost empty. A dome of glass curves overhead, revealing a sky so dark and white it feels endless. Stars shimmer like distant embers floating in cold air. The snowfall from earlier has stopped, leaving the night crisp and open. The moon hangs low, resting over the horizon like a lantern left for travelers. You sit beside me on the curved bench. The cushions sink softly under our weight. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The train moves like a dream beneath us, smooth, unhurried. I turn my head slightly toward you. Did you know, I begin softly, that this railway is one of the oldest night routes still running? The words come out slow, almost floating. People used to believe that traveling at night brought clearer dreams, that whatever you were searching for could find you here. You look at me with curiosity. I smile. Some say the tracks pass through places that don't exist during the day. The lights overhead dim even further, as if listening. Suddenly, through the glass, a faint glow appears in the distance. Not bright, not alarming, just unusual. A soft, wavering light far off near an abandoned field. The train passes close enough for us to glimpse shapes. The wooden skeleton of an old station platform, half collapsed, dusted with frost. A lantern hangs from a crooked beam, and for a second, only a heartbeat, it flickers. I lean forward, my voice barely above a breath. We're close now, close to the old junction. The tracks beneath the train curve gently. The engine hums a little deeper. Outside, rolling fog appears suddenly, low and silver, drifting across the open land like a river of quiet light. As it envelopes the train, the outside world vanishes completely. All that remains is the faint reflection of our faces in the glass, wrapped in warm interior light. Inside the fog, sounds feel muffled, like we're moving through a soft blanket. You close your eyes for a moment, breathing in the stillness. I speak again, my voice even softer. Many years ago, this junction connected to a branch line, a line that led deeper into the mountains, farther than maps recorded. My fingers trace the edge of the seat, slowly. Some say the last passenger train that took that route never returned. I pause, not for drama, just to let the quiet settle. The door at the far end of the observation car slides open with a gentle hiss. A tall conductor steps inside, dressed in a vintage-style uniform, dark navy fabric, brass buttons, cap tilted slightly forward. His footsteps are slow, measured. He nods politely as he approaches. "Everything comfortable for you both?" His voice is low, warm. You nod? I smile back. "Yes, thank you." He glances out the window into the sea of fog. "We'll be passing the abandoned turnoff soon," he says quietly. Not many notice it these days." He adjusts his gloves, then leans slightly closer, lowering his voice. "If you're awake, look to the right." And then, with another soft nod, he disappears back through the sliding door. The train drifts forward. The fog begins to lift in delicate strands. Outside, a silhouette emerges, a rusted switch tower, leaning to one side like a forgotten sentinel. Two tracks split. One continues straight into the night, and one diverges sharply right into deeper shadow. The rails of the abandoned branch are twisted, swallowed by frost and vines. But something strange clings to that place. A faint vibration, a shimmer, like heat waves. Except it's the coldest part of the journey. You exhale slowly. I whisper. Some say the old line still remembers the trains that once took it, even if the world has forgotten them. A soft chime sounds overhead, the train's gentle notification that we're returning to clear weather. We walk back through the corridor toward our quiet cabin. Warm light spills from the wall lamps, glowing gold against the cool steel and wood. Inside the cabin, everything feels even cozier now. You settle onto the soft seat near the window, pulling a blanket over your legs. They sit beside you. The faint rocking of the train returns like being carried. We sit in silence. The world outside fades into a steady, peaceful rhythm. The windows fog slightly from the cabin's warmth. I speak again. barely whispering. The night has its own way of showing things, only when we're quiet enough to notice. You breathe deeper now, slower. Your eyelids get heavier. The train hums softly, a lullaby made of steel and distant. As the minutes glide by, the cabin grows dimmer, the lights lowering to a soft amber. Outside, the landscape opens again, rolling fields under a pale moon. The abandoned junction is far behind us now. All that remains is calm, warmth, and the gentle feeling of being taken somewhere safe. I lean back, my voice fading into a soft hush. Rest now, the night is long, and the quiet rails will carry us. You remain seated in the deep cushioned chair, feeling the gentle sway of the carriage, as if the train itself is breathing slowly, calmly in the darkness outside. The warm glow of the overhead lamp trembles softly, casting golden reflections across the window pane. Beyond the glass lies a vast velvety night, sprinkled with distant silver stars. At some point, the clouds must have drifted away, revealing a sky so clear that it feels almost bottomless, as though someone had wiped away a layer of dust from the universe. The fabric lampshade above your little table casts a cozy circle of light, illuminating the scattered travel notes left behind by previous passengers. You open one of them again, not so much to read, but to feel connected to those who sat here long before you, perhaps decades ago. The paper is warm to the touch, as if someone had been holding it only moments earlier. There is a line you don't remember from before, written in elegant, careful handwriting. The mountain pass listens to the dreams of travelers. The phrase gives you a quiet, unexpected comfort, and you close the notebook gently. Outside, the train glides over a long curve, and the faint shift in its rhythm feels like drifting slightly closer to a dream. You hear a soft, distant jingle, perhaps a set of crystal glasses clinking in another carriage, or maybe it's just the murmur of the wheels passing over a different piece of track. The sounds blur together in a soothing pattern, like a slow heartbeat. You stretch your legs a little and run your fingers over the polished wooden armrest. The varnish is smooth but not perfect. It has tiny ridges and marks, evidence of age and use. The whole train has that feeling something alive, something with memories stored in every hinge, every fabric fold, every brass detail. You decide to walk again, not to explore this time, but simply to move, to follow the rhythm of the train. The corridor is dim, lit only by wall lamps with soft amber bulbs that create long, gentle shadows. The carpet beneath your feet muffles each step. The air smells faintly of cedar wood, old books, and the slightest touch of perfume that must have belonged to someone who passed through earlier in the evening. As you approach the end of the carriage, you pause by an old framed map mounted on the wall. You've looked at it before, but something about it draws you again. The route is illustrated in delicate ink, looping across mountains and unnamed valleys, ending in a destination obscured by a faded smudge. A tiny handwritten note beneath it reads, "Every journey is longer than it seems and shorter than we expect. You breathe out slowly." It's the kind of line that stays with you even after you forget who wrote it. A soft vibration passes through the floor as the train crosses a wooden bridge. The sound is different here, hollow and echoing, like distant drums. You glance out the window and see the faint outline of a river glimmering under the moonlight. The water moves lazily, reflecting the stars in a long trembling ribbon. You continue walking, letting your hand glide lightly along the wall. At the next carriage, a doorway opens with a gentle hiss, and a draft of cooler air brushes your face. This car feels slightly different, older, perhaps, or simply less traveled. The lamps are spaced a little farther apart, their light gentler, almost sleepy. Inside one of the compartments, the door is slightly ajar. You hesitate, not wanting to intrude, but then the train sways and the door quietly swings wider, inviting you. The compartment is empty, but it looks as though someone has only just stepped out. A book lies open on the table, its pages barely moving with the motion of the train. The curtains rustle softly. On the seat, there is a folded wool blanket with embroidered initials you don't recognize. You stand there for a moment, feeling as though you've stepped into a post-moment of someone else's life.
A soft creak makes you turn. A steward, perhaps the same one you saw earlier, walks down the corridor, giving you a gentle nod as he passes. His presence is quiet, reassuring. You return the nod and watch him disappear into the next carriage, his footsteps fading like the last notes of a lullaby. When you return to your own compartment, the lamp seems even warmer than before. The room feels safe, sheltered from the endless night outside. You sit down again, letting your body melt into the cushions. The train hums beneath you, steady and patient. You close your eyes for a moment, listening. The distant rhythm of the tracks becomes softer, almost musical. You imagine the landscapes passing outside. Winding rivers, silent forests, lonely hills dotted with forgotten ruins. You picture the train slicing gently through all of them, carrying stories from place to place. When you open your eyes again, something small catches your attention on the little table. A silver pocket watch sits exactly where you left your own belongings earlier, but this is not yours. You pick it up carefully. It's beautifully crafted, with delicate engravings on the back, a tiny mountain range and a crescent moon above it. The watch ticks softly, its second hand moving with slow, deliberate precision. You press the side to open it. Inside, there is no clock face, only a folded strip of paper. You withdraw it and unfold it with care. The handwriting matches the notes from earlier. Not all journeys are meant to be understood. Some are meant to change the way we dream. You exhale slowly, absorbing the words. You're unsure who is leaving these messages or why, but they feel gentle, comforting, like someone guiding you through the night without ever stepping into the light. The train eases into a long, smooth stretch of track, and you feel yourself relaxing deeper. Outside, the moon rises higher, illuminating the landscape with a pale, enchanted glow. feels quiet, timeless, as though the train has slipped into a place where nothing can hurry, nothing can disturb the calm. You return the pocket watch to the table, watching it gleam softly in the lamplight. Your breathing slows, your thoughts drift. For the first time since boarding this strange, beautiful train, you feel a peaceful certainty that you are exactly where you're meant to be, carried gently through the night toward a destination you do not yet need to know. You let your hand rest against the warm wood of the table, feeling the subtle vibration of the train beneath your skin, and little by little, the rhythm of the rails begins to merge with your heartbeat, steady and soothing, like a lullaby whispered across time. You lean back, close your eyes again, and allow the night to carry you. The journey continues quiet, patient, full of mysteries that do not ask to be solved, only felt. The gentle breathing of the train lulls you into a state between waking and dreaming, where thoughts drift like soft clouds and the world seems to stretch endlessly in both directions. You remain reclined in the warm glow of your compartment, the faint hum of the rails weaving a hypnotic melody that wraps around you like a silk blanket. Outside, the night deepens into shades of indigo and velvet, the stars multiplying as the train moves farther from the lights of distant town. You open your eyes slowly, not because something wakes you, but because the atmosphere feels subtly different, as though the train has entered a quieter, more sacred place. The air is warmer now, carrying a delicate scent of citrus and oak, as if someone had opened a freshly polished wooden chest nearby. The golden light from the lamp above you flickers gently, not from instability, but as if responding to the train's soft shift in direction. You sit up, letting your fingers glide once more along the pocket watch on the table. For a moment, you think you hear a faint ticking inside it again, even though it shouldn't have worked without its face. The sound is almost imperceptible, more like a heartbeat than a clock. When you lift it to your ear, the ticking stops entirely. You smile to yourself, wondering whether you imagined it. A soft chime rings throughout the carriage, a melody made of only 3 or 4 notes, drifting through the corridor like a whisper of invitation. It doesn't sound like the usual announcements. It feels older, gentler, almost like a music box your grandmother might have kept on a high shelf. You rise and open your compartment door. The corridor is bathed in deeper, warmer shadows now. The train lights feel lower, more intimate, as though the night has wrapped itself tightly around the carriages and the train is responding with its own hush. You walk slowly, each step cushioned by the thick carpet. As you pass the windows, you notice the darkness outside has changed, no longer a simple night sky, but an expanse filled with drifting wisps of white, like pale mist or clouds brushing the side of the train. They glow faintly under the moonlight, giving the impression that the train is gliding through a dream, not a landscape. Further ahead, the door to the observation lounge is ajar. You push it lightly and it opens with a soft, velvety sound. The room inside is dim and peaceful, illuminated by amber sconces and the soft reflection of moonlight on polished brass. Large windows curve around the space, giving the sense that you're floating through the night on a ship of glass and gold. Only one other person is there, a figure seated near the far window, wrapped in a deep red blanket. They seem lost in thought, their silhouette quiet and motionless. As you step into the lounge, they don't turn or acknowledge you. Instead, they lift a small, delicate teacup to their lips. Sipping slowly, the steam rises in graceful curls, catching the light before dissolving into the air. Not wishing to disturb them, you choose a seat on the opposite side of the lounge. The cushion is warm as though recently occupied. A small porcelain teapot sits on the table beside you, still steaming, with a single cup placed carefully next to it. It feels like a gesture, not random, not accidental, almost as if someone prepared it for you. You pour a little tea. The fragrance drifts upward, lavender, vanilla, and something faintly reminiscent of pine. The warmth spreads through your hands, soothing, grounding. You take a small sip, and the taste is soft and subtle, like a memory you can't quite place. You close your eyes, letting the warmth settle through your chest. The train makes a gentle turn, and the mist outside parts to reveal towering cliffs on either side, glowing faintly in the moonlight. You can't remember entering a mountain pass, yet here you are gliding silently through a narrow canyon bathed in silver. The cliffs rise so high they seem to scrape the stars, and the moonlight casts long, elegant shadows across their faces. You study the view, mesmerized. The rocks look ancient, almost like giant walls carved by time itself. At certain angles, the shadows form shapes that resemble faces, peaceful, weathered, watching over the train as it passes. You blink slowly, holding your breath. For a moment, you feel an unmistakable sensation that these stone guardians have seen countless travelers before you, that you are part of a long, unbroken chain of souls carried through this mysterious pass. You whisper softly, without fully understanding why. Where are we? The words vanish into the quiet. The words vanish into the quiet. A faint creak draws your attention. The red blanketed figure on the other side of the lounge lowers their teacup and turns their head ever so slightly, not facing you, but as if listening to something beyond the window. Their posture shifts, and you see their hand reach inside their coat. They pull out something small and metallic that glints in the light. A pocket watch almost identical to yours. It rests on their lap, unmoving. They tilt their head thoughtfully, then give the slightest nod, as if acknowledging something only they can sense. After a moment, they rise, wrap the blanket tighter around themselves, and quietly leave the lounge, never once meeting your eye. You remain in place, your heart calm but curious, the gentle tension of a mystery unfolding like a whispered bedtime story. After some time, the cliffs widen and the mist thins, revealing a vast open valley under the moon. The train glides across a high bridge, so smoothly that you barely feel it. Below, a winding river glimmers like a ribbon of liquid silver. On the far bank, distant lights twinkle, perhaps a tiny village, or perhaps something else entirely. The lights flicker in a slow, deliberate pattern, almost like a greeting. You watch them until the train curves again, and the view fades behind a curtain of darkness. You return to your compartment eventually, carrying with you the subtle warmth of the lounge. When you close the door behind you, the pocket watch on the table glints again, reflecting the lamp's soft glow. You pick it up once more, running your thumb over the engraved mountains on its back. This time when you open it, another strip of paper lies inside, thinner than before, almost delicate enough to tear from being handled too quickly. You unfold it carefully. The words are written in the same elegant handwriting. When the night grows deeper, listen closely. Somewhere in its quiet, you may hear the story of where the train is taking you. You sit very still, absorbing the message. The room feels warmer. The air seems to hum softly. And somewhere beyond the walls, within the wooden bones of the train itself, you begin to sense the faintest whisper of something ancient, patient, and kind, guiding you onward. The journey continues. The hours seem to stretch, softening around the edges, as though time itself has curled up beside you and fallen into a peaceful sleep. You remain seated in your compartment, the pocket watch resting in your open palm, its weight comforting, steady, strangely alive. The train settles into an even, gentler rhythm, each turn of the wheels a whispered reassurance. You breathe slowly, evenly. The lamp's warm glow fills the room with a golden haze, as if the air is made of dusk. Shadows drift lazily across the wooden panels, following the movements of the train like loyal companion. A sense of anticipation hums quietly beneath the calm, like a note held by an unseen instrument. Something is approaching, not the danger, nothing so sure. Rather, the feeling of reaching the final pages of a book you've come to love, the soft ache of an ending drawing close. You rise from your seat, keeping the pocket watch loosely in your hand, and step toward the window. When you pull the curtain aside, you inhale a quiet breath of wonder. Outside, the world has transformed. The train glides through a vast open plain covered in a soft, luminescent fog. It swirls gently around the tracks, glowing faintly from within as though it remembers the light of forgotten morning. Far in the distance, silhouettes emerge giant, folding shapes like arches or ancient gateways made of stone and mist. They rise into the sky like elegant sculptures carved by time. They feel familiar, as if you've seen them before, in a dream you almost remembered upon waking. The train slows slightly, giving the impression of reverence. The fog pulls back, parting like curtains, revealing a long path marked by glowing stones that shimmer in gentle rhythmic pulses, warm, cool, like a heartbeat guiding the way. You feel compelled to return to the corridor, and when you step outside your compartment, you realize you are not alone. Passengers stand quietly, each holding something meaningful to them. A scarf, a journal, a ring on a chain, a faded photograph. Their faces are peaceful. Some smile softly when they notice you. Others simply nod in recognition, as if they've known you for far longer than this single journey. The steward appears at the end of the corridor. His posture is calm, respectful. When he sees you, he offers a slight bow of his head. "It will not be long now," he says gently. You follow the others to the observation lounge. The room is brighter than before, lit not only by its amber lamps, but by the soft glow enveloping the outside world. The windows gleam like polished gold. You take a seat, the pocket watch warm in your hand. The train glides onto a long, elevated track suspended over the glowing plain. The mist gathers below like a shimmering sea. The air feels almost sacred, though no word seems adequate enough. As the arches in the distance grow closer, the fog brightens, pulsing in slow waves. You hear a faint melody, notes drifting through the air like a lullaby without a beginning or end. It's the same melody that chimed earlier, but now it feels fuller, more complete. The train slows to a near stillness, coasting forward as gracefully as a leaf on water. A voice, soft as the night wind seems to echo inside your mind, not spoken, but felt. You have traveled far enough to understand. The pocket watch in your hand clicks. A tiny sound, delicate as the wing beat of a moth. You look down. The back panel of the watch has shifted slightly, revealing a second hinge you hadn't noticed before. With gentle pressure, you open it. Inside is a small illustration. The train itself, crossing a glowing plain under a sky full of stars. Beneath it, in the same elegant handwriting as the previous notes, are the final words. The journey was never meant to take you somewhere. It was meant to bring you back to yourself. Your breath catches softly, not in surprise, more in recognition. The arches ahead rise into full view, their surfaces shimmering with ancient patterns. They do not look like structures built by hands, they look like memories solidified into form. The train passes beneath the first arch, and a warmth spreads through your chest, not hot, not overwhelming, gentle, healing. A sense of clarity unfolds within you, like a flower slowly opening its petal. You are safe. You are seen. You are exactly where you need to be. The passengers around you close their eyes. Some smile. Others release quiet sighs, letting go of weights they carried in silence. You rest your hand against the cool glass of the window. The fog swirls, carrying reflections of your own face, tired, peaceful, illuminated by golden light. The train glides through the second arch. Your heartbeat synchronizes with the rhythm of the rail, steady, soft, balanced. The third arch rises before you, its shape grander, its glow more profound. The melody from the fog peaks gently, then softens, like a lullaby reaching its final verse.